Guys, today we are at Mount Aberdeen, which is a old colonial style southern plantation. Still has much of its original appearance, and I think it retains all of its original land. We have to walk through the woods to get back there. It is on the Potomac River, so we're gonna make our way back there. Alright guys, we're making our way back towards the mansion here at Mount Aberdeen in the town of Indian Head, Maryland. And we're going to try to investigate to see if there's any type of paranormal activity up here. This place has a lot of history, and it remained in their same family from the 1700s until about 1914. During the Civil War, there were Union soldiers on this land. There was also a ferry port here at one time, and there is a cemetery, a family cemetery in the back, a colonial style cemetery. So we're gonna go to all these spots and we're gonna see what we can find. We're gonna investigate the dead, see if there's anything back here. This place is not really crazy documented in terms of its history. You can find a few articles online about it, just stating how old it was and maybe a few people that owned the land since, but there's not really a deep history on if this plantation had a great impact on the economy in this area, how big it was. In fact, I haven't even been able to find an article if it was slave labored, but I would believe it was during the time. And there's not really any accounts of the paranormal here, but I don't think anyone's really investigated this place to figure it out. Today, the goal is to try to get proof of that. Try to see if there's something here, if there's any type of energy, so that we can document it and that we can say, yeah, there is definitely something here. That's the goal. So as we keep walking down this road through the woods, trying to get back to the mansion on this snowy, well, not snowy, but the snow's on the ground from a recent storm here in southern Maryland, about 20 miles south of Washington, D.C., down the Potomac. We're going to explore back here. You can see the mansion up through the trees right there. We're walking down this side. Down here on Mount Aberdeen. This is very much like a Mount Vernon, except it's on the Maryland side, not the Virginia, and it's not the tourist destination that Mount Vernon is. In fact, I think this is one of the only Maryland plantations on the Potomac that really still exists in its natural habitat for the most part. I know 20 years ago or so they wanted to redevelop this land and turn it into houses, modern houses, but I guess they weren't able to do that. Someone stepped in and took the property. As you can see through these tree lines a little bit, that's where most of the farm fields would have been during the era. Down past those fields and more tree lines down that way is the Potomac River. And I believe down that way is where I believe the Union troops during the Civil War would have been occupying, down that way. They obviously occupied this area for travel reasons and because Virginia's right there. You know, set up a base point here to keep an eye on Virginia and keep things going okay. I have no idea what troops would have been here or what station, where they would have came from. I don't know. I've not been able to find any information on that. I mean, you can, if you know Civil War history, you can kind of make a guess, but my opinion is probably a mix of a whole bunch of different people from all over the place. But yeah, so we're gonna keep making our way down there. Walking through here, you definitely get that southern feel. that southern plantation feel. Technically, this is the south. The Mason-Dixon line is the Maryland-Pennsylvania border, but this is kind of like the beginning of the south, the beginning of the north kind of deal here in this area. You have DC, and then you have the south. Once you leave this area of southern Maryland, this region, you head into Virginia, Carolinas, Georgia, all that, and you just kind of have that southern charm, I guess. Let's see how the Potomac looks today. Here's the Potomac River, guys. The land you see ahead is Virginia. We're on Maryland. So here's what we got, guys. We're in the cemetery now. As you can see, there are 5 headstones here, but there have been more than 17 documented burials here. This property did remain in the family till the 1900s, so the last burial here recorded was in the year 1900. But as you can see, look at these old headstones. I'm pretty sure at one point maybe everyone had a headstone. Maybe this cemetery was kind of left back here for a while, a few decades, by the next owners of the property. They didn't really maintain it. I don't know. But as you can see, these gravestones are here. There's a John Chapman, aged 49, died October 20th, 1811. And just old gravestones like this. As you can see, we're going to try an EVP session back here and see if anything will come through. Is there anyone from the Chapman family back here that wants to speak? Why are you still here on the land? You love it here? Is there anything you want to say? I'm telling you, if you want to talk, I can hear you. Let me know. Can you tell me your first name? I told you my first name. Can you tell me your first name? Who was the family that owned this property? What was their last name? Are you someone that isn't from the Chapman family? Maybe someone that was enslaved here? Maybe someone who passed through here or close to this land? Can you make a noise for me and let me know if you're back here? So I don't think anyone believes there's any type of paranormal activity back here or any type of energy. And if you make a noise or you touch me or you tap me or you say something, that lets us know you're back here. And we know the Chapmans are still here. Or someone is here. All right, we're going to leave if you don't do anything. And once we leave, we can't help you. We can't let anyone know you're here. If you're here, if you hear me right now, you're dead. You're not alive anymore. You passed on. And if you do something, say something, touch me. If you can touch me, tap me. Let me know you're here. How did you die? We are leaving the cemetery now. We're gonna head back up towards the mansion. Try to give you the mansion. There is a trail that goes through the woods a little more around the back. I know that the owners of this property during the 50s and 60s, I believe it was an heir or someone from California who had horses, bought this as like a summer home or a vacation spot to get away, I guess. And they had horses on the property, and not a bad spot to come to when you just want to relax, if you have the money to travel like that. But there are no horses on the property anymore. And also, something I didn't say about the history of this land is, this land was also, they found a lot of Native American artifacts on this land too, from the pre-colonial time period. So that's to be documented also about this land as we make our way up towards the mansion. You make these videos, sometimes nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to show up, nothing weird's going to happen. It doesn't mean the place isn't haunted. It doesn't mean that there was nothing around. It just means sometimes that happens when you investigate. You know, if you want to investigate the paranormal, don't ever let that stop you. There'll be times that happens. You know what? You just keep going out and you just keep exploring. You know, keep looking for stuff. Be honest. Be straightforward with people. Don't make up stuff and say that something happened when it didn't happen, because you want to be credible. You know, you want people to understand. Yeah, sometimes nothing happens, and then other times some weird things happen, but they could maybe be explained. And other times things happen where it's 100% paranormal, no doubt about it. But you know, you're never going to find anything if you don't go out and try to explore. If you don't take leads, if you don't look and investigate and read about history to find out where to go. You're never going to find anything if you don't try. And even if nothing shows up in this video, at least it's a beautiful day out here. And it's still documenting a colonial plantation in Maryland. So there you go. Weird thing I just want to document is the battery on the camera I'm using, it dipped down to 60 all of a sudden. Now I haven't been keeping an eye on it all day, but I do know it was 100% when I got out here. And I've been using this camera for a while, so I know how it works. I know how the battery works. And I've been to places like Gettysburg and other haunted places. What I want to document is this battery just went down below 60%. And I've been using this camera for every investigation I've done. And usually I have no problems with this battery dipping like that. It usually always stays consistent. For the time I'm using it, have been using it here, it should only be down to maybe like 90, 89%. But for some reason it's down to 60. It was 100 when I got here. That's a little weird. That's a little unusual. I have no idea why it went like that, but sometimes when that stuff happens, it's the account for the energy, the spirits that drain the energy from the battery. But yeah, I just want to document that, you know, just something weird that happened. Guys, there's the mansion straight ahead. This is as close as I'm gonna go to the mansion before leaving this area, but there you go. There's the mansion. Looks quite like an entrance to a southern plantation, as you would expect leading up to the mansion. Over here is an old house of some sorts. I don't know when that was built, but it's there. And we're gonna take the walk back through the woods and get out of here now. Because we can't get in the mansion, I guess the best places to investigate was down by the cemetery and down by the water there because of the historical things that have happened in that area. But yeah, that's what we saw today. So thanks for coming on this adventure with me through Mount Abatine, former plantation. It still has its plantation charm and appearance. I'll see you guys when I get out of here. We're out of the property of Mount Abatine now. Don't think we caught anything today at all, but I do truly believe in my heart that this place does have some type of energy to it, and I feel like eventually if we keep coming here, we'll catch something. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, it's Fixed Image saying peace, guys.